Oh, I have one item of new business. As I may be aware of, and I think I brought up at our work session, that during the course of working on the T&D, the Planning Commission noted that our saldo and zoning ordinances were not complete in terms of including all the ordinances that had been passed. And it also turns out that there are many different versions among the different boards out there, including probably council, each version having its own set of missing documents. With the help of Marcia and Joanne, the missing documents were located, and when people go to buy these ordinances now from Joanne's office, they are including inserts and have a little label on the front saying amended by, and there are, I don't know, 6 or 8, well, maybe not that, between 4 and 8, I think, additional ordinances, depending on which booklet it is, updating the ordinance based on the actions of this council and the several previous ones. So it is my assumption, since we all received our ordinance packages when we came on council, either as new or having been handed down from a previous member of council, that there are a variety of additions floating out there that have not been updated, and so that members of council are probably working with different versions of these very important documents. So I was considering how we can all be updated and to get what is current, and then going forward be able to update them. One option is for us all to get brand new collections of each, and the copying costs of that are somewhere in the area of $80. I think the saldo and the zoning ordinance are each selling for $35, is that right? And then there are the additional ordinances that go with them, so rounding it up to $80. So that's fairly pricey. So that's option one. Option two is that you all go home, locate your ordinances, bring them in, sit down with Joanne's updated version, flip through page by page, update, cross out, make additions, slide in the missing ordinances to make sure that your own version is up to date with the rest. Very time consuming, very possibly inaccurate, and not without cost both of time and materials. Then I wondered whether we in fact had an electronic version, because it would make sense for these two documents to be up on the web. They can be PDFs, they could be very easily put up on the web, I believe. Dennis, we would have room for these. They're each smaller than the comprehensive plan is. However, it turns out that we don't have this. There is no electronic version. I called 3D, who makes our copies. I spoke to them and I said, have you ever scanned this in? Is there a way to get the scanned version? Oh, no, we take a hard copy and we just make copies from it. Which seemed like, I understand why it happens that way, and we don't have very large orders at any one time. But then I called around to find out how much it would cost to scan these documents, create a PDF, put them on a CD, be able to upload them onto the web, and so on. And I called and found out that it would cost about $80 to scan both of these documents and the appropriate additional ordinances to create a PDF, and about $10 to make the first CD. So I put it to council to whether we might want to make the next step towards getting our ordinances on the web and to authorize the scanning of these documents, the creation of a PDF, put them on discs, and those of you who would like to have an electronic copy of your very own could have your own CD, and those of you who want to go on the web and look at it could do that. And then, of course, there's always the option of getting a paper version. The technology of PDFs, as I understand it, is that it's very easy to update as new ordinances are created. They can be inserted into the PDF document. It's a several-step process, but can be done, and we can be constantly updating and keeping our electronic version up to date as we pass each ordinance. So I'm looking to council for recommendations. How would you like to go about this? Would you like to authorize the...
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
The source documents of these ordinances, do they exist electronically?
No. They do in pieces. Okay, so the more recent ordinances, I would assume, are on Marcia's computer, unsigned, so that we would have to scan the signed, sealed versions of the new ordinances. Do you have the original Saldo or the original zoning ordinance on your computer? No. There is a unofficial Word version that was created by a previous zoning officer, but it's not up to date either. And like I say, I was quite amazed. I thought that when we got these things copied, that it was scanned in and there was a PDF, and I would just take a little disc over and say, can we have a copy? He said, oh, no, we don't have that. So we don't have it. We should.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So can I have a motion from council to authorize the acquisition of an electronic version of our ordinance to date, create it as a PDF, put it in a PDF web version, give it to Dennis, get it up on the web at our
So
earliest
moved.
convenience?
I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
So moved.
Okay, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
This was option number 3?
That was option number 3.
It was $80 plus the,
It's going to cost a total of $80
Yeah.
to make an unlimited PDF version, yeah.
Who maintains it?
Who maintains it?
After
Once-
after the initial setup and what have you, is that something that we can maintain in Borough Hall?
Certainly, yeah.
It's the obligation of the borough secretary to maintain the ordinances, so it would be Marcia to sort of hold on to that and keep it up.
But she'll be able to just add it to the PDF file, to the file.
Now, we're just talking about Saldo and the zoning ordinance. We're not talking about any of the historic district.
No.
Not yet.
However, we could.
Not yet.
one step at a time.
I think we need to start with these,
Well,
but,
you know, not the shame of it, but the reality is that if you go to the sites of some municipalities, maybe they're just more technologically advanced than we are, they have the ability to actually draw out a chapter or to search not only the zoning, Saldo, and others, but the full borough ordinances. But that's a sophistication level we're just not at. But at the very least, in 2011, we should have on a PDF those essential ordinances which anybody can draw upon without having to come even down to the Borough Hall to look for it or purchase a copy. It's just not something that local government should be stuck back, 10 or 15 years ago with.
Marcia, do you have a reader-writer CD drive on your computer? Can you create CDs?
It doesn't work. I have it, but it doesn't.
Okay. These things cost, what, $30 now or something like that? They're not very expensive.
But it doesn't.
Okay, so you need a new CD drive, a reader-writer drive for your computer.
Unless, now, I don't know whether any of the ones in the back in the zoning department can do it. I don't know. There are 2 back there, and I haven't gotten all those. I don't know whether they have that ability, but I can't reply.
So we would need to. I can do it if you need me. Okay. And, okay. All right, so it sounds like it could be pretty easy.
Have we seen the product from this organization in terms of, have they done it before? Do they know what they're doing? I mean, we're only talking $100, I realize that, but
Staples, I called Staples. I said, how much would it cost to scan a document into PDF and then give us a CD? And they said the price was 25 cents a page and $10 to put it on a CD.
So we did with the audit, was at Staples.
Yeah,
That's how.
and
yeah.
did they do a commendable job?
they have the copy
But I
equipment.
can't say that I went through it.
Aren't our documents are double-sided? Did we take that?
I don't, that wasn't a problem. I asked her, she said, are they single or double-sided? I said, well, some are double, some are single. She said, well, the single-sided, count as one side, and the double-sided count as 2.
Okay, so you don't have any problem with doing both sides in sequence?
I don't think so. I think I would imagine it's going to be an activity that's going to require some babysitting.
Okay.
It's not something you just kind of deliver and see what comes
Yeah.
back, but it's going to require a little bit of work there. But, let's see, we have a motion on the floor
And a second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. So we'll coordinate with you, Marcia, and we'll get this going.